Welcome to another world, another reality, another universe. We control the horizontal, the vertical, the inverse, and obverse. This is the Paradise Paradox. So today, we're continuing the conversation from last time. So as we left off last time, Aaron had just made that comment when you have to finish up taking acid around Sunday lunchtime, so you can make sure you get to work on Monday morning. So I continue on talking about how actually I don't need to worry about that much so more because I'm phasing out my job. So we'll get into that in a minute, and we talk about some interesting ideas, some ideas that came to me about economics, about the economics of ideas, about how currency is evolving slowly from barter to commodity money to fiat currency, and eventually to ideas themselves, as money is only ever representative of ideas. Ideas are the currency of gods. So we'll get into that in a moment, but I just want to tell you, if you want to know something cool, you can jump onto Steemit.com. Steemit.com is a blogging platform which I actually pay you to create and curate content. So if you vote on our stuff and it blows up and earns $1,000, then you get a slice of that. So that's a little hint for you there that you should go onto steemit.com/@paradise-paradox so you can vote on our content. You can check me on there too at Churdzu, CHURDTZU. Aaron's on there too at Battle, AZBATTLEAYZEE. He hasn't posted that much yet, but hopefully will. You can, give us, show us some love on there. It helps us out a lot. Of course, if you want to give us a tip, we appreciate that too. So you can jump onto donate.theparadiseparadox.com. And for every $1 that you send us, I will jump upside down, stand on my head in my underwear, reciting the Lord's Prayer backwards. So go ahead and do that. Donate.theparadiseparadox.com. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Let's jump into this and dive right into the pool of mixed emotions that is the Paradise Paradox. Yeah, that's a tough decision to make. But, fortunately, I kind of have to, I worry about that less and less because I'm making this decent money on Steemit. And so it's like I'm cutting right down on teaching. And
I've been meaning to ask you how that balance is going, because, you did say if this is going to hold itself, then I can afford to pull back on teaching hours. I mean, obviously, you've got a figure in your head that you like to maintain, but then to start producing more content more often to keep that flow going. And I saw that article that you posted to me a little while ago, Busting Science, and I saw there was like $100 on there or something or more, and I thought,
yeah. But I remember I don't receive all of that, but I get so out of that I'll get about $30 or $40, about $30, let's say, in liquid cash that I can spend immediately. But $30 is if I'm posting every day and I make $30 every day, that's quite a lot of money. Say $900 a month. US dollars. That's like 16,000 pesos a month.
Yep.
That's more than a lot of people make in Mexico. The cost of living is low, and things are fine. But then, sometimes I make $30 a day. Occasionally I get a post that breaks through and I make $100, $200. So things look pretty good for me.
Yeah. Sounds very good. Very, well, yeah, I don't really have too much to say about that because I've kind of been floating in and out of worlds and,
the opportunity's there, my dude.
Yeah, I think for everybody. I'm just about to roll up my sleeves. Actually, I was just about to get in bed. It's like it's half past midnight. That didn't sound right. But we struck up a good conversation. I was like, you know what? We need to talk about this. So Steemit.io is going strong. I mean, there's been a big uptake of people and content that's gone in, and I know a lot of people were concerned about once it starts to mature a little bit, and it's really only been a few months since its official launch. But in crypto space, a few months is like dog years, really.
Yeah, but still very, very early days though. So Steemit.com is the blogging platform. Steemit.io is the site where you get information about the currency and the platform. So yeah, it seems to be coming along. So I mean, from my perspective, it seems like the payouts maybe are going down a bit, but it doesn't seem to be too much of a problem yet. I mean, maybe they'll reduce a bit more. So, because of course it depends somewhat on the market cap. So when the price of Steem went up to $4 and it had a market cap of 250 million, I think. It was third spot on Coin Market Cap.
Yep.
So then the payouts were getting quite extreme. So it seemed, and now it's the Steem has drifted back down to around 80 cents, which is completely normal. So people are kind of panicking and saying, this is, what's happening? The price is going down. The sky is falling. But that was actually what I anticipated. So I've seen this happen enough times to know that when the price spikes from 30 cents to $4, it's not staying at $4. It's going down. So, it's down around 80, 90 cents now, and that seems perfectly normal to me.
Yep.
But we'll see, in terms of long-term viability, I think there's something there because they have, the Steem is basically like having a share in the site. So, people pay thousands of dollars to get like first place on Google, and Steemit has very good SEO, so that's valuable. It's kind of like if you could own shares in Wikipedia, what would that be worth? That's an interesting question. So that's the kind of situation which we have on our hands with Steemit.
It seems like there's no real, it's always like apple-orange kind of comparison because there's nothing really, there's nothing like it yet to really say, well, this is what happened to the old guy. It's like, that doesn't exist. So, we're merging technologies together, and it's pretty exciting to see, really, because, everyone is like, this is kind of like a no-brainer kind of project as an experiment. It's only a matter of time before Twitter or Facebook get a cryptocurrency and start rewarding people in some way, but they haven't done it.
Right. Yeah, and, with these slow-moving things, because, Facebook is this established corporation now, and it's not quite so easy to be agile with it. So maybe they won't do something like that. But even, say with there is this reasonable comparison with Reddit, because if you have an established Reddit account with a high reputation, then people might offer you money for that because they're like, okay, we want to advertise our product. We want people that are trusted in the community. So we will pay you X amount of dollars a month to slip in things about our product. And that happens.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
And so it's a funny thing with Steemit where people are like, where does the money come from? Well, where does the money come from when people pay for attention on Reddit? It's the same sort of thing. But it's very funny to think about.
It's only that we, I think with, let's say these last 100 years, really, we've been completely disconnected from value, where we've been given monopoly money to play with, and everything's kind of got a set price, and you think, well, I'm giving you this money for that thing, and that's the way it works. Where if you jump back, I mean, I'm on the fly here, because it just occurred to me that if you jump back, like say a few thousand years, what am I talking about? A few thousand years, and it's like, you know what, you are, everyone's more specialized in that. You come from a family that produce milk, and I come from a family that repair armor or boots or leather products or whatever, and there was no real price and stuff. It was like, do you get along with that person, or do you trust that person? And that affected the price, or what do I have that I can give to you for that price? And then it was like value for value.
Well, what? Yeah, that's right. What probably happened was like, I guess you call it a delayed barter system. So not barter directly, not like, okay, you have some boots and I have a horse and let's trade. Probably not that, but probably, okay, well, I'll give you these boots, and maybe in a couple of weeks you can give me some eggs, because I have a debt to you, something like that. And it was rather inefficient, but it sort of figured its way out, and money helped us bridge that gap.
So money, I mean, money as a thing is good, but we're starting to see, I think, a similar kind of change now, where we're trying to put money on something that the money doesn't really fit again. It's like we're going back to something where it's like, how come that's worth something? It's like, we're forgetting, we're looking at everything for a price tag and money, and not what am I going to get out of it value wise, and can I give you something for that later?
I don't know if you read the story about me going to Tapalpa. Maybe you didn't read that one.
No, I've been off the planet for these last couple of days.
Well, maybe I have too, because I'll tell you what happened when I went to Tapalpa.
Okay, cool.
I guess I had what you might call a flashback to my peyote experience. So as it happened, I was in a very dark room in a hotel or a posada in Tapalpa. And dark room, it's nice and quiet. The only source of light was this standby light on the television, and I looked at it, and I was like, something weird's going on, and it kind of looked like it was moving around in my vision, or like I couldn't focus on it, and so my eyes were moving around, and so I was like, hang on, this reminds me of something. So very similar to the experience that I had in the desert when I was on peyote and I saw lights in the distance, and it seemed like they were trying to communicate with me through the manipulation of light, like light signals, so kind of like smoke signals. And so I had this conversation with this light, or with whatever was behind the light, either my subconscious or extraterrestrial spirits, whatever. And so so they were like, can you show us something? Do you have something for us? And I was like, gee, let me think about what I can give you. And I offered a few things. I was like, how about this, the theory of evolution? And they were like, not that old thing. and I said, okay, how about Bitcoin? And they were like, we gave you that.
Ooh.
So
Cheeky.
that's something funny to think about.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, well, last time you were interested in anatomy, so let me show you my brain. And so I went through different parts of my brain and tried to illuminate it so they could see the kind of the structure of it. And then I went to sleep. And in the morning, I was sitting in a cafe, and of course, I have my notepad there with me, and I start writing. And then some very interesting ideas started coming out. So this is like what Terence McKenna talks about is meme traders. So when he talks about taking a DMT trip, and he goes to this other realm, and these little machine elves are like, hey, so do you have something for us? And he says, well, have a look at this. This is the E King. And they say, oh, that's cool. And they jump around and jump in and out of him and all over the place. And and they say, well, have a look at this. And they present him like this, a science fiction story about the splitting of Earth into two different realities, or whatever idea that he found fascinating. So my interpretation was that so I showed them this idea about human anatomy, and they kind of left something with me. In the morning, it started to come out in my writing, and so they gave me this kind of idea of a new economic theory, I suppose. And so in the article or in the story, I go through and say, okay, so we have this delayed barter system, and then we have commodity money like gold and silver as money. Then we have fiat currency, which is seen as, especially in the Austrian school, it's seen as a step back because it's based on debt, and so it's kind of, it's kind of tricky, like keeping people enslaved.
Yeah.
But the thing about fiat currency is, in a way, it's more advanced than gold and silver, because gold and silver is a physical thing, and you think it's actually money, but in all cases, it actually represents something else. Like the gold represents your work, or the effort you've put in, or the value that you've given to people, whatever form that takes.
Yeah.
Fiat currency, again, it's representative of something, but it's just a it's a piece of paper or a piece of plastic, and it doesn't really, it's not actually something, not like gold and silver. It doesn't really have exactly a physical presence.
Yes.
It's an idea, and you can wire money all over the world, and you're just wiring numbers. Similar thing when you get to Bitcoin. It's even more of an idea. Like there's no paper, there's no plastic. It's just an idea. It's just ones and zeros, and you can send these ones and zeros all over the world. But again, it's an idea that represents another idea. So it represents the value. It's not the value itself.
Yep.
But then what do you have after that? Well, you have ideas themselves. So instead of trading Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, which is ideas that represent ideas, we want to trade the ideas themselves. And the thing is about ideas, they do have certain qualities, which are certain qualities of good money. So like portability. So, gold is more portable than a horse. Bitcoin is much more portable than gold. You can send it all over the world in virtually an instant. But ideas, you can't send Bitcoins through realities. You can't send Bitcoins through dimensions. You cannot do that because there's no guarantee that they'll have the ability to receive them on the other side, and they don't have an counterparty blockchain. But with ideas, you can send them through realities. They are that light, they are that portable, and they are that readily accepted, which is another another important quality of money.
Oh, yeah.
That you can send them through realities. You can trade ideas through realities. And so that makes them very good as money in certain cases. So this is the idea of the meme traders. Why do they do what they do? Well, they're just trading. They're just they've got this established form of money which is well accepted even among people who don't know that it's money. Imagine that. Like I could give you a form of money and you're like, what the fuck? What? I don't even know what this is. And I'm just like, yeah, it's just a thing, but it's actually money and you don't even know it. The other thing is,
that's brilliant. I love it. Yeah, keep going. Keep on. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. They deal in what I call change worlds. So some ideas are so potent that just the mere entry of an idea can change it.
Yeah.
Can change reality forever. So this is kind of like, I mean, you had this idea a few months back where you said, what if Satoshi Nakamoto wasn't a real person? What if it's just he's the story that we tell so we can explain what happened?
Yeah, like he was just a splash.
Yes. So similar thing. When the idea of this distributed ledger reached our reality had to change because of that. Now, it doesn't, like we say, it doesn't really matter who Satoshi Nakamoto was. We don't care to a great extent. We don't. It doesn't matter to us because it's the idea that's important. So the idea came into our reality somehow, maybe through aliens, or maybe through hard work. We don't know what exactly, and that will have this huge effect on our little bubble.
Yep.
So
so
that's
the hard work is just the human being's ego saying, "Well, of course we created it," or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple good points here, and let's see if I can remember them because I didn't want to ruin your flow. Yep. I think the ayahuasca and the peyote trip more recently, and other dabbling with other substances, it changes you every single time you do it, because
yes,
I mean it's been months since the peyote trip, but I think there's things that I don't even understand that I think I learnt on a maybe even an emotionally expanding level, that I come back to Australia and I'm not even the same energy signature anymore, which is why people can look straight through me. And it's like, I worked with you for 5 years. You don't know who I am? And it's like, no, I'm not the same person at all. It's like, the image that they have in their memories is so different to where I'm at now that maybe I don't even, maybe I appear to them completely physically different. And it's only people that know me can pick up on the slight difference and say, oh, you should probably get a shave. That's like that's like the icing on the cake. But the actual sponge is a completely different flavor.
Yeah. It's
something like
that's
that.
cool. The changing the energy sequence or the energy signature, and people don't recognize it. I think there's definitely something to that idea. This is let's see. So this is something that I scribbled, and you see, it's kind of like a. Oh, okay. I guess you can't. It's not really picking up on the camera, but anyway, you can tell if you see the page. It's like I scrolled like in a rush. Like this has got to come out now.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is what it says. Okay. So let's see. So it starts talking about this idea that changed my life. So I had this idea. Whenever somebody would say something to me like, Machu Picchu or Teotihuacan, I would like stare off into the distance, and I would have this strong emotion, like elation, and I have this start to get this vision of a mountain in the distance, and this fog and this foliage and all this kind of thing, and I couldn't help but be moved by it. And it's just the idea itself. This is a change world for me. But this doesn't change the entire reality, but it changed my world.
Yep.
So on a smaller scale, ideas have that transformative power. Just an idea itself, that thought changed your life. And then it says here, your mission is to show the transcendental in the mundane, the profound in the ordinary, the divine in the terrestrial. Amen. Now, what this means, and I'm not entirely sure if I know what this means, but this is one interpretation. The thing is, when you can look at things in several ways, but I guess everybody knows this feeling when they climb to the top of the mountain and they look out across the trees and they take this deep breath of that thin, fresh mountain air, and then they feel that elation, and they say, "This is divine. This is special. This is amazing, transcendental. This is maybe even they say, this is what life is all about. This is perfection, beauty. This is everything." Now that experience exists all the time, and you can look at everything in that way, in the same way you look at that fog out over the mountains.
Yep.
That's always there. It's just a perspective. But the thing is, when you look at things that way, it allows that essential transformation. Just the same way as I'm gazing off into the distance and thinking about Machu Picchu. It has that power. Now let's see. Then this is a bit where it goes a step further. Just the mere entrance of a particular thought into a universe can change it indefinitely. Thoughts are things. Sentimental value is more real than money, than any physical object. Sentimental value can knock down walls and make losers into champions. It can move worlds and send men beyond the stars. Yea, it can create universes. Amen. So we have this idea that if someone says, this thing has a lot of sentimental value for me, we think, oh, okay, so you mean it's not worth much? But no, actually that means it's worth a lot, because people will run marathons for that. They will conquer worlds. They will travel the world for that. For that value.
Where did these messages come from?
I don't know. I mean, one way of looking at it is these ideas have been floating around our universe for a while, and it's just I was tuned in at that moment to express them well. Because I was watching X-Files last night, and I was curious because some of the things that they said were actually echoes of these ideas, like talking about how words have weight. Words can change the course of someone's life.
Create worlds.
Yes, they can. Yeah, so they didn't say that in the X-Files, but this is the logical extension. So yes, so these meme traders deal in change worlds and create worlds.
There's nothing short from wow. Because I think we've been onto this. We've been onto the idea for a while, but it's the first time within maybe a 20-minute session that we've been able to completely fit it into our personal realities, and it has shifted my value system. Although but I know we spoke about it. Maybe off air, off the record.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, I think that's really changed stuff. I mean, for you, I mean, I can feel like the way you said that changed. That's really cool. It's actually thrown me a little bit. Like I feel like I'm a little bit withdrawn from myself, just trying to like as if just that idea, the fact that it's now entered into my reality, 20% of my processing power is turned down just to like install that app. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, this is I wonder if that's a thing. Like you're telling me that when I sent the story to my friend Will, in the middle of it, he was like, "Whoa, I don't know what's going on. I feel a little fragile right now. I need to take a shower." And I was like, "Huh, maybe that means it's working." Because I knew I had to get these ideas down like as quick as possible, and get them out into this global consciousness as quick as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And I wasn't entirely sure why, but that was what made sense.
The message from the standby lights. I'm just gonna unplug that television before I go to bed, just in case. Yeah, look, I kind of tight. It's kind of really weird because it's kind of one of these synchronistic things that's been happening lately. But I think that this meme trading idea is not just it's not just a thing. I think it's I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I think we didn't start this podcast for fun. We kind of did, but things didn't just happen. I mean, I honestly think we're just starting every single time. It's just like, but we're new. No, we're not. We've been doing a lot of work for a long time, and I don't even know, haven't felt the weight. But that idea of being a little fragile, you hit me. I mean, and I think I'm actively trying to be more connected to my own energy state, and I think it's starting to switch up. There's Dolores Cannon, the regressional hypnotherapist, is saying, she says that there's the worlds are now coming back together again, and
like in Terence McKenna's story, or
kind of. You know what? It does sound like that. Yeah, it does sound like that. And things are overlapping, which I think is going to give us, different senses and abilities that we, unless you have it, you won't know what you're talking about. It's like I'm not saying that we're all going to become X-Men and superheroes and things like that, but I think on more of a subtle level, most of us can already feel it.
Oh, well, that's another thing, which I've got a few ideas about that.
Ooh, okay. So that's going to be like Midnight Conversations Part 2.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that another time, because
cool.
I do have a couple of ideas, and I don't know, maybe they're just ideas, but maybe they mean something. So, I guess we'll wrap it up for now. Thanks so much for listening. Remember, you can jump on over to donate.theparadiseparadox.com to give us a little tip, show us a token of appreciation of your support. We've got our web hosting renewal coming up soon, so we appreciate when you give us a tip to help us out with the expenses of running this amazing project. And also, you can jump onto Steemit.com. Remember, it's a blogging platform where you can get paid to post, and you can also get paid to vote on our content even. So steemit.com/@paradise-paradox. Jump on over there and press upvote on every one of our posts, and that'll help us out a lot. So much appreciated, and have a great day. Enjoy life. Push it to the fullest. Adios.